Okay, in this video we're going to talk about tangents, secants, chords, and then of course we're still talking about radiuses, diameters, and circles. So we got some new definitions, and you might already know, but secants and chords are very similar, but one is a line segment and one is a line. So let's go over that. Okay, a secant is a line that intersects two or more points on a curve. And I do want you to write this down. There is, on the left-hand side, there's a lined paper for you to write notes. So pause the video and write this down. A secant is a line that does not pass through the center, and it extends on forever in both directions. Okay. Now, a chord is very similar, but it doesn't continue on. You know, a chord is just a line segment, and it only goes to the edge of the circle. Now, a tangent, as you can see, it just touches the circle, and it's a line, and you can see it here. It just touches the circle one time, and my line's bad, but there could be a tangent not just to a circle, but anywhere there's a curve. For example, you know, this has a curve in it, and it has a tangent line there. And so anywhere there's a curve, you could have a tangent line, and a tangent line just touches the curve in exactly one point. And it matches the curve at that one point and the slope at that one point, and then it never touches it again. Here's another picture of a tangent line. So let's just recap here. We've already gone over radius, which is halfway across the circle, from the center to the edge of the circle. Always, always, always. Never anything different. It's whatever half the distance of the circle. The diameter is always the distance of the circle. It has to pass through the center, and it's always the distance of the circle. The chord may or may not pass through the center. Usually it doesn't, especially at this level, because they're trying not to trick you. But it could pass through the center. A chord could be a diameter, but normally they keep them separate. But a chord, notice how it stops here. You know, it doesn't extend past the circle. Now, a secant is very similar to a chord, except it continues on in both directions. And then a tangent, it only touches the circle, or the curve really, in one place. It doesn't pass through the center, it doesn't pass through the circle really even. It just touches the edge of the circle. And then an arc down here, we're not really going to spend much time on that, but an arc is part of the circle. Okay, so now that we have an idea of what we're looking at, let's go ahead and label each of these. And they're asking us for the same 6 things from each picture or diagram. So the first one's easy. This is circle E because it has a center E. And the radius, we have a couple choices. We could say EF, which is fine. Or we could say EG, which is also fine. And it doesn't matter which one we choose. Oops. I'm just going to keep it EF, but we could choose either one. Notice it has to contain E because the center has E in it. So no matter what we pick, the radius has to have an E in it. The diameter is FG or GF. Either way, it doesn't matter which one. You can either say FG or GF. They're both the same thing. And don't forget your line segment above it. Now the chord is IH, and then some people could argue that you could name the diameter as the chord as well, and that's true, you could. You know, the diameter is also a chord. It's just a special type of chord. But to keep it simple, we're going to name the chord that's not passing through the center, and we're going to name HI or IH. Now the tangent is the line that barely touches it out here on the outside edge. So we're going to go with KJ. And again, oh, be careful. Make sure you have your line. Don't say a line segment. Make sure it has the arrows so that it says line JK or line KJ. And the same is true with the secant. The secant up here is line, so you have your arrows, LM or ML. Both of those are fine. Okay, so try number 2 by yourself, and then we'll go over it. Okay, I went ahead and filled in number 2, so let's just go over it. You should have said that it was circle A, and I named radius line segment AB, but you could have said AC, or you could have said BA or CA, and either of those would have been fine. And then I said line segment BC. You could have said CB, and that would have been fine. And I called it chord line segment HI, and you could have said IH. And you also could have called the diameter of the chord, but I kept my chord separate. And the tangent line is line FG or line GF. Make sure you have your line bar above it. Don't say line segment. Make sure you have your arrows. And in the secant, line DE or line ED. Again, make sure you have your line. Okay, I'm going to have you do 3 and 4 by yourself. I will not go over these in the video, but I will check them when you hand your packet in.